Hello everyone, it's Brittany at Big Cat Rescue in Tampa, Florida. And today I have a home tour for you, and it's a special one. It is for Serval. Des is a three-legged serval that was found on the side of a highway in Arizona, and he already had 3 legs. He is also the exception to our rule. All of our small cats have a roof on their enclosures, but Des, because he has 3 legs, severe arthritis, and is getting quite old, he is able to be in this enclosure over here. It's quite a large space. Hopefully we can find him out there. Servals are amazing at their camouflage. So we're just gonna start right here at this back corner. We're gonna walk over to his feeding lockout first. Des is also, it's amazing, with his 3 legs, he can still manage to make his way over to his feeding lockout long before his keepers do. So he's very high energy, and he's also one of the very few small cats that we have as a lockout cat, which that means every single morning our keepers come out and we close all of our medium and big cats' feeding lockout doors. Then we also come around, and there are a select few of the small cats that we also will drop the door. So we'll take this clip and we'll lower the door. That way Des has to stay on the outside of his feeding lockout while we drop the food in onto that plate, and then we can lift the door for him to come in and eat. So he's got freshwater bowls, and he's also got this chicken wire here. Helps keep any kind of large predatory birds from trying to mess with him while he's eating. He's got tons of palmettos, and he lays amongst them all the time. Again, he can be very hard to find in this enclosure, which I'm sure makes him very happy. He's just got tons and tons of palmettos. We do go in periodically and make sure that they are nice and trimmed up and that there aren't a lot of tripping hazards for him. Our keepers need to have eyes on the cats all the time, so we do have to keep it cleaned up a little bit. He's been staring at us this whole time. There he is on his coolaroo. So from this angle, you'll see that he's got a nice tree stump den. He's got a big yellow toy there that has a ball that races around in the middle that he can play with. He's missing a back rear leg. He has both front legs. And he's just hanging out on his coolaroo. A coolaroo bed, which was graciously donated by many of our supporters that got together and made sure they could fundraise and buy a coolaroo bed for every single one of our small cats. And boy, oh boy, do they use them, especially the servals. Look at him, so handsome. So very handsome. My goodness. Now, I mentioned earlier, so you'll see that he is one of the lucky small cats that does not have to have a roof on his enclosure. However, he does still have a roof section, and we're going to walk all the way around so that you can see that. As a policy for us, any of our big cats that have an open air section, meaning without a roof, anytime that winds are going to be up over 30 miles an hour, and we do risk something falling or getting blown around, we do ask the cats through operant conditioning to go into their roof sections. We close them in there safely, and then as soon as the weather clears and their entire enclosure has been checked over, then we can open them back up. So Des is no exception to that. If something were to fall, like a tree, and basically create a ramp to the outside, that would be terrible. It's a definite public safety issue, so we have always made sure that we have very good policies in place for bad weather. We have a whole page about that on our website. So this is the view back. Can you see Des in there? He's got a lot of space. Still on his coolaroo, just flipped around to look at us. He's got his little seasonal pumpkin here as well. we hand out a lot of enrichment because life in a cage for a wild cat has got to be the worst possible thing for them. Can't imagine being caged when you should be able to run wild and free, but that's what sanctuaries do. So we try to give them as much space as possible. In our opinion, a cage is never going to be big enough, so we do have to end the problem at its source, and that is the breeding. For both the pet trade and the photo props and all of those issues. That's for another day. This is a home tour, but you can learn about that at bigcatact.com. So he has all this space over here, and then you'll see that there's an interior wall there that's curved and a big giant den. So this is his roof section. So we go from having no roof on one side to this shorter lower area where there is a roof. And another view back to him just so you have perspective on where he is, right there in the center. So we can call him into this area. He's got a big concrete den. So if there was bad weather, not only is he safely under a roof, but he's also safely in this giant den. There's a door on either side, and it's full of nice soft sand and dirt. He can get up on top of it as well and hide in those grasses. He does have a feeding plate and a water bowl over on this side as well. So if he is locked in the roof section, he can still easily have access to food and water. There's the guillotine door. There he is still on his coolaroo. So that's the door we would drop behind him, and then he'd be in his roof section. This is his very large safety gate. He basically has one huge opening for his open air section, and then he has this roof section. So if we ever needed to go in for maintenance or raking or to pick up a large limb or something along those lines, we go in through the safety entrance here. It's a double door system. The outside door would be closed and locked behind us, and then we can choose whether we're going in this side or this side. So we're almost back to the beginning. He's got tons of places. He loves to hide in these and make you search for him. Of course, he's still on his coolaroo. So we're gonna wrap around. His neighbors are Max and Marianne Bobcat and Nala Serval. And we are back to the beginning, that corner area where we started. Hopefully this helps you understand a little bit more about how and why our enclosures are shaped and created the way that they are. If you have additional questions, just go to bigcatrescue.org/cages.